Hey guys, welcome back. Congratulations on making it this far. We're going to jump into it quick today. We're going to go over the extras section of our student planners. So let's get going. So the next section after the records is extras. We just have some pages in here that we've added literally as extras. They're just added little benefits for the families, for the students, for the parents, for your planning. You may use them or you may not. You may appreciate them, you may not. You can ignore them if you don't care for them, but let me just show you what they entail. So, course plan suggestions. So, part of our schooling is picking out our courses. So, you've got you have two options here, two ideas. This is what this is. It's suggestions, it's ideas, just food for thought for the parent. But we have a traditional course suggestion with a core 4, right? So there's English language arts, math, science, and then you have history and social studies. And then you just have sorry, I bumped you guys. You just have course suggestions, course titles for each of those core 4 subjects. For example, math, you have geometry, algebra 1 and 2, calculus. In science, there's biology, chemistry, physics, right? In history, you've got American history, geography, world history. In English language arts, there's world literature, composition, journalism. So there's a solid list for each of the 4 core to give you ideas and suggestions for traditional course lists. Then underneath that, we have this little section here says an alternative approach, mind, body, and soul. This is definitely an unorthodox, out of the box approach to education, but let me just tell you a little bit about it. It says here, and this is really good for our homeschoolers as well. It says a traditional academic course plan is often a go-to direction for many. However, one of the greatest things about homeschooling is the flexibility and ability to create a specially tailored education. Imagine an education plan where the focus isn't solely on traditional subjects, but on nurturing the whole person, mind, body, and soul. This alternative approach prioritizes personal growth, well-being, and holistic development. By integrating critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and physical activities such as yoga and sports, students develop a deep understanding of themselves and the world around them. For example, a community garden project can teach biology, environmental science, teamwork, and mindfulness, all in one cohesive experience. In a rapidly changing world, traditional education often falls short in preparing students for the complexities of modern life. By focusing on the holistic development of individuals, you equip them with the resilience, adaptability, and inner strength needed to thrive in any environment. This approach not only produces well-rounded individuals, but also fosters a compassionate, thoughtful, and connected society. Join us in revolutionizing education, where learning is a journey of personal discovery, growth, and transformation. Let's prepare our students not just for exams, but for life. So there's the alternative approach, which is mind, body, and soul. And down here, instead of having your core 4, you've got mental, which is thinking, emotional, which is doing, and then you have physical and spiritual. So mind, body, and soul, right? And then you've got course subject ideas. So in the mental, you've got creative thinking and storytelling. And then in the emotional, you've got emotional intelligence and social skills. In the physical, you've got health and nutrition. And in the spiritual, you've got values and character education, or self-expression and creativity. So, just course plan suggestions, ideas, topics. So that's our first extras page. Then you've got comprehensive skills development. Oh, and then I should have mentioned that course plan suggestions is also in the Big Kid um, planner as well in the extras section. In the only difference is that actually you have this added little box on the next page that says additional, and it's additional courses that go with the mind, body, and soul for approach, and it's got driver's ed, penmanship, note-taking, foreign language, home ec, entrepreneurship, family and consumer sciences, just to name a few. So there's some more ideas for older kids in the Big Kid book as well. Now, in the next page, you find comprehensive skills development. It says the following pages are comprehensive lists for reference to ensure students develop a well-rounded set of skills, preparing them for the complexities of modern life and equipping them with the tools needed for personal and professional success. So we've got a very large, comprehensive list here. You have personal development skills with a giant list, okay? Some of those sections include self-awareness and self-reflection, goal setting and achievement, emotional intelligence. Remember, again, this is our young student planner. So we have this also in the Big Kid planner, but the skills listed are going to be different because young students and older students are working on different things. They're in different phases of life. So you've got age-specific ideas and suggestions here for things that students can work on and learn to develop as far as their skill set, comprehensive skills development. So you have personal skills here. If you turn the page, you also have life skills, and that has 6 different sections. And then on the next page, you have soft skills and hard skills, and those each have their own sections as well. So again, you have these also in the Big Kid notebook. They just look a little different, and the actual skills are more age appropriate. These are fun to review and look over, and maybe even consider some that you might pick out for your student that you'd want to work on, because later on I will show you, but we do have in their weekly planner where they start getting into planning out their weeks, there is a section for life skills. So definitely are welcome and feel free to pick life skills from these sections, from these extra pages. It's not something that you have to think of and completely come up with on your own. It's been thought of. We've thought of age-appropriate life skills, and they are here for your reference and use if you so choose. So that is also, talking about developing the whole person, the whole student, everybody working together as a family. These pages really play into that core purpose and value of these student planners. So as you turn the page in our extras section, another thing I want to draw your attention to is you have this 2-page spread of our create your own course forms, I guess you could say. These are really neat. A lot of times, especially with homeschoolers, you have parents who want to create their own course. Maybe you want to teach something or combine a few things and make it into your science curriculum, right? You don't necessarily want an out-of-the-box curriculum. You're like, I want to do these things. Maybe you want to do seasonal things. Oops, excuse me. Sometimes you can put maybe multiple units together, seasonal units, and call that one full course. Everybody has different ideas, and it may not be just science Obviously, it could be any subject, it could be specific. Maybe you want to create your own course for reading comprehension. So anyways, this form helps you as the parent to create your own course for your student. There is a QR code because this is also available on our website. If you want to create more than one course, you're more than welcome to make copies or to download our free download on our website and use that as well. And there will eventually, at some point, there isn't one yet, but there will be a video walking you through creating your own course. We do have a blog right now, which actually is where the QR code takes you. It takes you to our blog post that walks you through step by step how to create your own course. So I'm not going to do that here, but I am just going to give you a quick little overview of how these forms work. And so subject and title, you decide, okay, my course is a science course and I'm actually going to use the example of a course that I have created this school year for my boys. I am calling it survival science. We're very excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It incorporates a lot of things though. So I'm just going to use that example as I walk you through this quick little form and show you how this works. So my subject is science and the title is survival science. It is actually it's a 2-year course. It's a 2-year program. And then the credits are undecided. I haven't got that far yet. It's still in the works, but as far as like for my older student. But it is going to be a 2-year program. We have figured that out. We've already started the pacing and all of that. So we kind of realized, ooh, this is going to take longer than we thought. So it's a 2-year program, survival science. The description, I would write that here. What is it? What's included? How does it work? Students will, in the blog, you will read. It gives you suggestions on the wording to use because these descriptions are also really great, especially if you're doing for older students and you need to create transcripts and course descriptions. Maybe if you have one going off to college and things like that, if you have to submit records to the state. This is super helpful and it's going to help you keep track of all of that information. And all of that is written out in the blog. Tells you, gives you suggestions on the wording for the course description. So then you're going to list your main learning objectives and your course outline. You're going to talk about units, modules, or other. So this is where you start really brainstorming and putting in what are all the things that are going to happen in my course, and am I using certain workbooks, and are we integrating, how am I going to break it all down, and are they chapters, are they units, what are they, how long are they, what do they entail? This is going to be your little brainstorm page for that. You might need to get another page if you're like me and you have like a ton of ideas. You might need a fresh page, a scrap piece of paper to brainstorm that on, and then come back to this and make it a little neater. But that's what that's for. And then on the second page, you have resources and materials. So you'll list whatever added resources and materials you're going to need there. Excuse me. And their reference. Where did they come from? How did you find them? Learning activities, assignments and or final project. So, assessments. Assessments and final projects, which may or may not be applicable, but the space is there if you want to use it. And then there's a notes space. So this thank you for watching, and can't wait to see you next time of the student planners and is there for the parents' use, really. But that is an awesome tool as well. Now, some fun stuff that is in both books. On the next page, you'll find the acts of kindness. And there's just a little grid here that lists some things that your students can do. Acts of kindness are included in the weekly layouts, which again, you will see when we get there. But we try to encourage the kids to do some sort of act of kindness and just be mindful of acts of kindness in their daily life, and grow up to be well-rounded, kind human beings. And so this is something that we felt very important to include in the student planner. So this grid has several ideas for things for acts of kindness that students can do. And again, it's age appropriate. So the grid is in both the big kid and the young student no planner, excuse me. But in the big kid planner, the suggestions are different and they're more age appropriate. So, and then there's blank spaces. It tells you add your own too. So we want them to actually think about this and not just do a acts of kindness bingo here. We're trying to make this a conscious effort. So there's that. Then you have this really awesome focus time. This is amazing. And I learned this from somebody else, but her idea is absolutely incredible. And I have incorporated it in my own home. So I have had this worksheet put in to our student planners. So that way you guys can have it too in these ultimate student planners that just have a little bit of everything, right? Okay, so let me tell you what focus time is. It says downtime is focus time. This is how you can make sure of the more important things and use your time wisely. So these pages are meant to speak to the student. Anytime you have downtime or free time, make it focused time in that order. Use the chart below to learn more about what focus time is. Then list some examples of things you can do in each category of focus time. So focus time, as you can see, the letters are listed here. F is for first things first. Make sure of the more important things and your routine responsibilities. So if they feel like they have downtime, the first thing they should do is make sure that they've taken care of all of their chores and other responsibilities. O is for open a book. Pretty self-explanatory. C is for create something. Let your imagination lead. So arts and crafts, or my oldest he loves to write. So maybe you might use C to work on the novel he's writing. U is for use your talents. Do you play an instrument? Have a hobby that you're skilled in? Practice that. So if you have some downtime and you've gone through FOC and U is next, maybe it's time to get your guitar out and practice playing the guitar and do that with your free time. S is for serve. Can you think of something you can do for others, either in your own home, neighborhood, or community? So this again, back to the mindfulness and being a well-rounded individual, would think of others too when we have downtime. And then E is for exercise. Practice a sport, do a workout routine, walk the dog. And then lastly, D is for delight. Once you have exhausted all other letters in focused, you may take time for delight. Maybe play games or watch a movie. So this is to help kids when they feel that they have downtime or free time or whatever, and find better ways to spend their time than to immediately decide to go and get on the video games, right? And without you as the parent having to verbally have that conversation every single time they go, I have 30 minutes until blah, blah, blah. Can I play my video game? Your response can say, it's focus time. Did you check your chart? Right? So that's telling them, come back to this chart, go down the list, find something better to do with your time. Right? And that doesn't mean that delight is never an option, because that's why it's there. It is an option. But we want to make sure that we're taking care of more important things and that we're being mindful of how we best spend our free time. So, focus time, that is a phrase that you can use in your planning as well. You can even put it in the calendar from this time to this time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That is focus time. So it's basically free time, but focus time, right? Because it's not completely free, it's focused. So it's time well spent. That is in both student planners. Then on the next page, you have healthy mind and body, and these are in both student planners as well. Again, leading towards the whole just holistic development, whole person, whole student. Thoughts for wellness, self-care ideas. It says sometimes we get so busy with our day-to-day responsibilities, we forget to consider our own basic needs. It's important to remember that self-care should have a place in our schedules. We cannot give to others what we do not have within ourselves. So, this is teaching kids to be mindful of um, self-care and positive self-talk. Affirmations, we have that here. We have affirmations and positive self-talk. We have mental health checklist. We have workouts, spot things that make me happy. And then it says be conscious of hours of sleep, water intake, sunshine, things like this. And then you've got a little fun little section here, self-care ideas, thoughts for wellness, but you also have this self-care for a bad day section and there's suggestions. So feel free to use these or not, but these are just fun for the kids. And also, these pages are in the parent planners as well. And just the lists of things, self-care ideas and the affirmations and stuff, they're changed to be age appropriate and to help implement the idea of taking care of yourself and positive self-talk in a way that's age appropriate so that kids can actually learn to implement those things in their day-to-day lives. So that's in both planners and and our parent planner. So because it is important for everybody. Then lastly, at the end of our extras section, we have a password tracker, which is really great, especially for students. It's really great for everybody, and it is also in the parent planner. But in the students, a lot of times they have different logins. If you take online courses, you have these different websites where you're doing different activities and different courses and stuff. And so here's a good place for your username and password tracker. And that ends our extras section. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you appreciated all those little extras we added into our student planners. We really want our student planners to feel like they cater to you as a person, and they're not just cold and dry. They are a personal thing that, they are created from the heart, and we really hoped that that came across, especially with our extras section. So thank you again for watching, and I cannot wait to show you our calendar section tomorrow. Bye!